Donnie was in the lair messing with his battle shell, as he always did once a week to check for damage and such. And he would have his back exposed, which was fine, since he was alone. But he heard some noises coming from outside. He listened and heard your name outside the lab with his other brothers talking to her about her date with this girl she just met a week ago. Donnie was mad, like really mad, and he didn't know why. Oddly enough, he shouldn't be upset. I mean, she wasn't like his or anything. And she had talked about how she was scared at first to go out with girls because she was bisexual. And she was scared about people wondering if something was wrong with her for liking both genders. Which Donnie told her it was not wrong or bad or anything, because it doesn't matter what gender someone is. But, anyways, he was angry nonetheless and decided to go back to work. Until she came in the lab. "Hey Donnie, how is everything? Your shell!" She had never seen his bare shell before, so for her to be shocked was not surprising to say the least. "Yeah, and," he said with annoyance in his voice, "it's... what happened?" She came closer, and he backed up, facing her now. "I'm a soft shell, so it's going to look like that. The shell you see, it's battle armor, to protect my shell. Duh." He said duh because it was like the most obvious thing in the world. She shook her head and nodded. "Oh, okay. I just never seen it before, and I was shocked. Do you normally take it off?" He nods and explains about how he usually fixes it weekly. "Now, if you excuse me, I would like to be alone now." He deadpanned and turned around in his chair. "But I wanted to tell you about my date." She held her hand out. "Not interested." He waved her away. "But come on, Donnie, you normally like hearing about things that happen to me in a day. What's wrong?" she asked, coming closer, and he stood up and backed away again, getting really uncomfortable now. "Because I'm not interested in about hearing about your date with a different girl, or guy, your name. I don't care. Now leave me alone," he yelled, and she backed off this time. He usually didn't yell, like, ever, and even if he did, never at her. "Do you hate me now because of how I've changed?" He grunts. "No, why would you think that? I'm the one who told you it doesn't matter who you like or love," he said, annoyed that he had to repeat himself. "Then why are you acting like this?" she yelled back. "Because it makes me angry to hear about you having fun with someone else who isn't me," he practically screamed. She stopped. "What?" He sighed and backed up more. "Get out," he said. "What?" "I said, get out. I'm not leaving you till you..." She touched his shoulder and he jerked. As they both fell on the floor, she under him to block his back from getting hit. He saw this and quickly backed away and hit his head on the desk as he scooted back so fast. "Ouch! Donnie! Stay back!" he yelled, and she listened. "Just give me some space, okay? This is uncomfortable enough having my shell exposed like this. Just, please," he begged. She nodded. Okay. I'm sorry, Donnie." He shook his head. "No, I'm sorry I yelled at you and fell on you. I'm pretty heavy to begin with, so it must have hurt you." He sighed. "No, I'm fine. Nothing I can't handle. I have 3 older brothers myself, so... and your shell is more important than my back." She smiled and laughed awkwardly. He looked up. "You did that to protect me?" "Yes, I did, Donnie. I know some things about turtles. It's just, I didn't know you were a soft shell," she admits, being ashamed about it. He really did seem like a jerk now. I'm such a jerk." He held his face in his hands. She scooted closer, grabbing his hands and moving them out of his face. As he looked at her, he blushed. She shook her head. "No, Donnie, you're not. You're the nicest, sweetest, and most caring guy I have ever known. And you even listened to me about coming out, and didn't judge me, telling me to go, and you told me to go for it." She smiled. "I'm sorry I didn't notice you liked me." She looked to him. He looks away. I didn't say anything. He tried to push her away, but she held on strong. Yeah, you did. You may have not said that you liked me, but you implied it by what you said. She kissed his forehead. I'm sorry. I liked you too, my big genius. She giggled, and he blushed so hard. Huh. Well, I guess I'm the jealous sort. He grinned. Yeah, I guess you are, but that's okay. I'm yours now, and you don't have to get jealous. He stopped. Well, what about your date? He said, quite shocked that she would just drop her. Well, me and her decided it was better if we stayed friends. We didn't have much in common anyway. But I always was crushing on you, but you never said anything. He smiled and held her back. Thanks, I happy you can like someone like me and not be annoyed with me. She shook her head. I like you for you. Nothing can change that, dear. She smiled softly and hugged him back, but softly because of the shell. Are you still uncomfortable? She asked. He blinked and shook his head. No, I think I'm okay now. After all, it is you. He said happily, and since then, he wasn't uncomfortable having her there with his bare back, and she was comfortable just being with him. Guy or gal, Donnie was Donnie.